everyone, and welcome. Thank you for tuning into the remix today on Black Street TV. Now today, if you are a fan of street ball and follow Ball Up, or just a basketball fan in general, then you're in for quite a treat today, because we have Larry Bone Collector Williams in studio and in the mix with us today. Straight off the court, number 23, Mr. Bone Collector. Welcome in studio with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And especially thank you because I know currently you're on tour right now.
Yes, we are.
So thank you for taking time out to be in the mix with us today.
No problem.
You're about 3 weeks into the tour already.
Mm-hmm.
What cities have you been through so far, or should I say, what cities have you collected bones in?
Well, we've been to 3 cities so far. Los Angeles, and Los Angeles was a big city for me because I grew up in Pasadena, California, and to play in front of my friends and family was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been to Los Angeles, and then we hit Louisville next, and then we just left Indiana, and our next stop is Atlanta. So we're touring in 10 different cities, and you know, those guys are ready to go.
They are ready to go,
yeah.
Ready to ball up, right?
Yep.
Now, I know, so you said it was a 10-week tour, and the last game is in Las Vegas, the championship game. And tell us why the championship game is so special.
Well, what makes the championship game special is the fact that every city that we go to, they take 2 players from each city, and they combine those 10 players into a combine camp of 20 players in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And those 20, they get dwindled down to 10, and those 10 have to play us in the championship game, and they are able to win a contract at the end of it all. And being that we're not able to pick who actually makes it, our CEO has a good basketball IQ.
Yeah.
And he's going to kind of, you know, weed out what we need on our team, so to speak, and that player gets a chance to win a contract and, you know, be compensated for his hard work.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So there is a reward. So do they also get a chance to compete on the Ball Up team?
Yes, they actually win a contract to be the next player, and we've had the last 2 seasons. We had Gary Smith, aka G Smith, and a guy they called Too Easy. They made the team the last 2 seasons, and it's a good experience. You know, they're doing something they love, and they actually get paid to do it.
Good, that's wonderful. So I have to ask: has any of the opposing teams have they beat you guys?
Oh, we haven't lost.
You haven't lost.
We haven't lost in 4 years.
Good for you.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Since the tour.
Wow.
Yeah,
since the tour began, then,
since
right?
the tour began.
Oh wow.
And me saying that, I know somebody's looking at this tape and saying, we're going to beat them.
Right.
But you know what? That's what we're paid to do. We're paid to go out and perform, and hopefully, you know, you guys are ready, because if you're not, then you will
And
lose.
Raises the bar. You will lose.
Yes.
You will get your ankles broke around this piece.
Yes, you will.
Tell us how you adopted the name Bone Collector.
Once again, up to Tango. This is the abuser with the ball. The abuser looking at it through his legs. Got it by the Bone Collector. Back to his legs. No.
Well, it's a funny story. I got the name Bone Collector in New York City, and a friend of mine that played on my team in Rucker Park by the name of David Seals, he woke up one night in the middle of the night and he called me. Now, I was a little skeptical about why he would be calling me at 4 in the morning.
At 4 in the morning, right?
But I was willing to listen, and he was like, man, I just had the craziest dream. I woke up, I had to call you. I was like, well, okay, so tell me what's going on. He said, the perfect name for you is Bone Collector. And I said, oh, wow. Why?
Right.
He said, well, because you collect bones. And the reason why he said that is because my first 4 games in Rucker, first game, a guy fell on his wrist and he sprained and broke his wrist.
Wow.
And in the second game, I shook him into the gate, and he fell and he hit his shin, and then he had an injury on his shin. And So the paramedics were out there.
Wow.
And the next 2 games, the paramedics would just wait outside the game just in case I was going to break somebody down again. So the name was born and it continued on.
Bone Collector.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
note to self viewers, if you play against Bone Collector, you might want to have some medical insurance.
Well, you know, my favorite players in basketball were Michael Jordan and then Allen Iverson.
Yes.
And then LeBron James. So,
Okay, yeah.
And it's funny when I say that because there's a story behind that, you know.
Okay, let's hear it.
Back when I was in Rucker, I challenged Allen Iverson. And me being a reckless kid as I was then, you know, it was all over the place. People were, you know, making a big deal out of it.
Right.
But he's a good friend of mine now.
Okay.
And
we love Allen Iverson.
and the reason I challenged him is because I knew he was the greatest guard I've ever seen. But I thought I could hold my own against him, and I believed it. And the greatest part of that story is I actually got to play him, and we're so good. So we're really good friends now. And after I played him, I really understood the concept of, you know, paying homage and understanding the sport, because he ended up telling me I was his favorite street ball player.
Wow,
So
what a
my
compliment.
Yeah, so I remember I used to have a picture of him on my wall, and I said I'm gonna play him one day. And then everything that ended up happening was just like eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
So maybe some kids nowadays will say, man, I can't wait to play Bone Collector, and I maybe overlooking it, but that's why I'm always prepared.
We want to thank you so very much for being in studio with us today and in the mix. We really appreciate
thank you for
being
having me.
here. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bone Collector, everybody.